Biron's pretty good, but the problem is, I don't know, I've noticed when I play Biron, he's not the king of the top lane. He'll usually hold his own against top lane, but I disagree with all the people who think that Biron's that good. Anyways, here's our team, folks.
We have our team!
Playing another Lee Sin. I did die a few times, so that's the reason we're going to show this matchup. If you haven't seen my runes or you're new to the channel, here are the runes: the Red Moon, the Reaver, and the Eagle Eye. So we're just starting boots. I did switch my boots from armor boots to attack speed boots just to give more hyper carry value. And I'm thinking about switching after the claw items. Don't know what that's called because I'm a little rusty coming back. Brand new season. The Ripper. So you have way more chase power and movement. Again, movement wins games. That is rule number 1. But he does have movement, and Lee Sin was buffed. So check the previous video if you want to hear me talk about the recent changes. Staying topped off, but I noticed something happening in the jungle here. I do not want Biron bullying my Musashi, so we try to go back. Musashi concedes it though, so I'm like, okay, I'll just continue about my business. Just waiting it out. The beginning early phase of Lee Sin is pretty embarrassing, is what I'll say about that. Now they did buff his too, so it's not that bad. He can still poke people out, but the reality is it's not very strong. You are weakest in the early game. After you start picking up some of those tier 3s and you transform into your red form, then you're talking some damage, some skill value, your kit value. You get that hyper carry, you get that CC immunity, you get that movement speed. They even buffed the 1 skill, so when you're in CC immunity, you're doing damage. So you can chase them with that to get ahead of them, to cut them off, to then use your 2 to slow them down, to then ult if they don't gap close or force them to gap close. He is a pure chaser. Hyper carry chaser done so flawlessly. The buff makes him perfect. I cannot say there is any problem with his kit. I have not seen his second form in a long time, so I can't really speak about that. Maybe we'll do that in a bot match and just kind of see how I feel about it. But for now, I would stick to the red form over the golden form or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, we're just picking up more attack speed to get that hyper game going. We do have our transformation here, so it's going to be pretty deadly. Once you have the Spark Forge, even if the top laner builds armor, and that's typically what they do, they're still going to be deleted because the hyper carry value will apply AP damage from the Spark Forge. So they'll have to somehow negate both. So now the meta is going to change to having a Succubus and probably either a Premonition specifically against Lee Sin or Fuzi because they have attack speed, and that's the counter tier 3 item that you need to build against attack speed. Or you get the Spike Melted Dish and reflect the damage back. So I would expect most of the solo laners to be building both of those first, unless they're going a damage start. But typically the solo laner should be tanky, so it makes sense for them to build defense first. Even on my Fuzi, you'll notice I get a Spike Melt first, especially when I'm going against a Mei or someone with heavy AD power like a Lubu. You'll notice I'll be able to survive, still do decent damage when I'm in red mode. Fuzi can still do a lot of damage, even just with building a defensive tier 3 first. Then go into the Spark Forge and maybe a Doomsday. The Spark Forge will give you absurd hyper carry value damage, and the Doomsday will give you that lifesteal, which means you'll stay topped off and you might be able to fight additional targets, not just 1v1. Your 1v1 is secured from that point, just having those 2 tier 3s and a defensive item. After that, you can kind of just pick, but that is the core build for both Fuzi and Lee Sin. Now it changes just slightly with the Lee Sin as I build a Claw instead of a Spike Mail or a Premonition. Again, that in the previous video I talked about the Claw item. That defensive shield is really good. You can tank a whole bunch of damage from the enemy team. You can go in there, kind of set up a fight, just be careful about it and be ready to hit your Claw. Because if you don't hit the Claw, you're still pretty squishy. It's not like we're building tank runes. We're definitely going full hyper carry, so the squishiness, the glass cannon is a reality. We pushed it up, beat him to the clear, which gives me time to start this Overlord here. Gotta be trying to do this in between. If you can get that, your whole team doesn't need to worry. You're pushing up the lane, you're controlling the map by just grabbing an Overlord. And he's really easy to beat until he starts evolving. And even then, I don't find myself in trouble killing any of those solo until we take one, and the second one, if I'm trying to take the second one and they have that defensive buff, then I might be in trouble, but it still seems doable. Just gotta pick the right build, recognize what your kit is, and try to have synergy with your kit in mind. We take that, he tries to do something about it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna allow that. Kongming comes in, tries to rescue him, playing hero. I'm like, okay, then I concede, because you'll notice later Kongming does kill me. But I'm being too aggressive and asking for too much attention. If you're a Lee Sin who's starting to take all their map and multi-pressuring all the lanes, they're going to try to do something about it. But when you're doing that, and you'll notice in this video, your team will be getting free gold on the other sides of the map. They'll be getting free tier 1, tier 2, tier 3s. If they're spending too many resources to stop just you, then you're going to be winning the game. You don't need to feel demoralized. There is no sting. You're doing good. Just don't go in for a turret and not get it and die. That's probably a biff. That's an end. If you're going to go in for a turret, do so in a way that's careful and methodical with deliberate actions to ensure you get it. That way, if you die, it's still worth it. You got all that pressure. You get more chase room on the lane. That's the other thing, is if you're taking these turrets, you have more time to chase. And on a chase kit, there's no way they get away from you if they're overextended. That makes it so overextension is huge punishment. That's kill potential on its own. It's a little bit of mind game there and taking all the turrets, because if you have a sprint like I do, and this kit specifically, there's no way they get away. Unless you just heavily get outplayed, or you just totally screwed up and didn't use the skill orders in the correct manner. Again, the way I typically do it is I will run, try to get ahead of them, see if they're going to go forward. If they don't, then I'll swing back. But if they do go forward towards me and still want to fight, thinking they can't go back, then I'll just pop the ultimate or the slowdown. Or even both. Just spam them real quick and go back to doing your hyper carry damage. Again, hyper carries are damage based on their attack speed in their basic attacks and melee range, for his kit specifically. Other hyper carries like the ADCs have ranged. Either way, the biggest component of your DPS, your damage per second, is those basic attacks. The rest of your kit is simply to synergize around that to help you lay up your own kill potential. Slowdown means they can't get away, you get more basic attacks. Knockout means they're distracted, can't do anything about it. It's pretty good stuff, a beautiful kit. So this is where I die here, can't do anything about it. He gets both of those. Earlier before, you noticed I was trying to evade those, dodge those. There's nothing really I can do. Musashi comes in, tries to do something here. He gets one. Unfortunately, this Princess Frost is super good and plays that so perfectly. Musashi was going for the kill, and he wasn't going to just walk away without doing something. And of course, Princess Frost was going to do something about it. So she just CC locked him, zones him in there. He can't escape. He used everything. So that's fine. Again, I got the turret. He picks up a kill. We get 2 for 2 there, because we both died, but at least we killed one and we took a turret. So now that lane's looking good. We're still holding the mid lane. Again, side lanes will usually go first because of response time. You'll see that in police or even law enforcement. They talk about response times. The average response time here for someone to come to an emergency is 15 minutes. That's pretty fast. But when you're talking about response time in a game, in terms of perfect analogy, if you're taking those lanes and they're pressured, they have to go push up 1 to 2 waves. That's going to take like 5 to 15, 20 seconds. That's 15 and 20 seconds that they're babysitting, that you can do whatever you want. Free gold, free pressure on the team, free opportunity to pick fights. Goes back to windows of opportunity and dead by daylight. Again, I play all the games, and the reality is I take little things and it's wax on, wax off. All these developers teach us things, and it's up to you to decide how you're going to apply those things in the future of your gaming. You need to evolve, you need to analyze, you need to realize that the devs are giving you little breadcrumbs of absolute truth, absolute gold. You need to thank those developers. And the way you thank them is reciprocating those actions and applying them in the rest of your games to build your competency. Evolve. So we're doing pretty good here. You see, I just showed back up. Might have showed up a little bit before that, but I was too busy talking, doing my little seminar. TED Toolbox. TED Talks Toolbox, correction. So I tried to set up a play there, but I was getting a little greedy, and I knew it. Giadia didn't realize what was going on, perhaps, and then she ended up dying. That was her only death this whole game, though, so I can't really be too hard on her. Either way, this was a winning matchup, and she did fine, but we couldn't do anything about it. You have to recognize when they're playing too protective in a phalanx over one person, or even me setting up a play, because when I'm diving, they're supposed to do something about it. Now, he gets caught off there, and even if they tried to do something, he was too low. He created his life state, which gave me easy kill opportunity. I see Musashi going in, so I try to do something about this. I'll switch off the aggro there. He gets the perfect ult there, and I still get out. Try to do something about that, and I couldn't do anything, so I just take the ultimate, and then knew I can walk away and keep getting gold per minute. Either way, the damage dealers are alive. If it comes to you or the damage dealer dying, preferably it's you, the tank or the jungle who dies. Why? Because if those damage dealers fall off on gold, then you're going to be in big trouble. Because they won't be able to defend you, they won't be able to do the damage for you to successfully win. Now, that's not always the case, because if I die or Musashi dies, we're also losing these objectives. We're also losing all that multi-pressure on the lane. So just be careful about how often you do that, because there's going to be a trade in the balance of the game. It's going to affect the macro. When someone dies, that is a crucial role for the team. Each position has critical play in terms of what their kit was designed to do and what they're supposed to be doing for value for the team. Your job, for short. So just own that. Either way, I thought we were doing pretty good. We still had pressure on the lanes. I was like, I'll just take the hit. It doesn't really matter. Now she can go back to trying to defend it, but as you can see with us both dead and trying to regain pressure, they took the tier 1 mid. But it's fine, because we already took theirs first. It's not the end of the world. They're all coming for me, as you can see, and I already knew it, but I was like, fine, if you're going to take that tier 1 mid, I'm going to take your tier 3, your Highland Tower, and now we're going to have Minions. So, try to do that, activate that claw, pretty good stuff. Biron comes in because my CC immunity was ending. There was nothing I could do. He waited so perfectly for it to end to then activate, because they can see that. It says CC immunity. They take the gold dragon, so we get 2 for 1 again. I died, but we got a tier 3, super Minions. Super Minions is Minions for short, and they get the gold dragon, so we get that damage buff, which is really good stuff. So let's see what's going on here. You can see Giadia is peeling for the team, trying to take some damage. The Princess Frost just totally zones out the damage dealers. Really deadly stuff. They couldn't even do anything. They had to walk away and respect the zone, or be stuck in there pretending they were going to play hero and die. Now, if you have really good lifesteal and defensive item, maybe they could have done something. But the reality is most of these damage dealers are not building a defensive item. Maybe at the very end of the game they'll build one. But if they fall off on damage, then they can't even do their job. Here I come in again. I saw what was going down. I'm trying to punish this Biron. Like, you're being mean to my team. And it's not necessarily mean, that's loosely said. I'm just kind of viewing it that way because I'm very protective of my team. Either way, I'm trying to do something about it. I don't want my team to be demoralized. At the end of the day, this is a moral game, and helping your teammates means we're all boosted, we're all feeling juiced, we're all happy, and we're trying to win. So if you can help the team without dying, again, that's in clause or fine print in the rule number 4. You should help your team if you have opportunity to do so. Don't forsake your job, but don't forsake your team either. Now, if you're winning on split push alone, you can't forsake the team. Why? Because in the previous video, the flawless one on Lee Sin, I was making sure they had insufficient numbers, which meant they had more numbers to go against the enemy team, which means they were going to win either way. Whether I showed up or not, they had value against the enemies. Tried to look for the blue buff here, and I caught this guy, slowed him down, which led to the lady getting that kill. I noticed the other team was coming in, so I'm looking to see if they were going to dive. They did, but they knew I was coming back. They was kind of expecting it because I kept doing it all game. Again, if you start giving away those plays and your behaviors, the other teammates are going to adapt. This is definitely not low rank play. They're very competent. Almost die here, but that life claw saves me. I tried to cut that off and swing back around, and I did save Musashi there, so really good stuff. And I call it the life claw because it saves my life and it's a claw, but that is not the technical name for the tier 3. So we'll be sure to take a picture of that and include that in the build so you can kind of read what it does, and you can try that out yourself. You will see the pros implementing that item. Anyways, that's about the end of the game right here. They was all dead. We pushed forward, we took their stuff. We're not gonna lie down. We finished the game. We're not trying to beef the opponents. We're not trying to get extra kills to get extra pips. We're just finishing the game and going next.
Bow before your new god and be spared.
So with that being said, that's GG, WP, checkmate. Anyways, here's the builds. Everything are pretty good, so I don't really need to go over too much stuff here. Again, with a lot of succubus there because they were worried about the Nua's damage. Nua has absurd zone and power, just like the Princess Frost. Nua is pretty good. It does get pretty predictable at times, but it is what it is. Anyways, all those items are good. I can't say anyone here is building wrong. They weren't trolling the composition. The synergy seems good. That's rule number 5. Pick something that's viable. Think about value for all your teammates, not just yourself, but value that's going to be utility for the rest of your team. Anyways, that's good for the builds here. So let's go look at these data analytics. As you can see, I was team fighting 50% of the time. And the other 50% of the time, I was either taking free objectives, counter jungling, or pressuring and multi-pressure any and all lanes. Now, the side lanes are usually my priority first, because if we can get people on the side lanes, that gives us response time again to pick the fights we want or the objectives that we want. That's why the side lanes go first, other than the fact that the mid lane is easier for everybody to respond to because it's in the middle. So you want to cut those response times to make sure you have more time, more opportunity, time economy to do what you want to do. So really good stuff here. Even on the enemy team, you can see they had the Dolly with 100% team fighting. She was not without the team. She was there the whole entire time. So really good stuff there. Didn't say I can notice those ultimates or not, but I wasn't with the team the whole time to be able to say she did really good or not. But seeing that statistics means she was definitely playing a really, really valuable support. Anyway, so really good stuff there. You can also see Magma Boy 1 with the lady here. 27% of the team damage. Nua there with 24%. That's really high numbers. Again, that's what we're looking for on the damage dealers. You can see on the other side, 32%. That's what we're looking for. 23%. That's what we're looking for on the Garo. Looking good. That's all stuff that needs to happen, because if you are the damage dealer and that is your job, you want to have that high percentage number. Now, again, sometimes those numbers are misleading depending on the conditions of the game and how the instance plays out, but typically that's what you'll see. And that's what you should be trying to own in terms of your job, and you want the purpose of doing the job well, and you want to pat yourself on the back. That's what you want to strive to accomplish. Anyways, let's check this real quick. You can see we got 9 turrets. They only got 2. We was really hammering the lanes, really making sure they couldn't do too much. And then we also got 1 of the Tyrants, 2 of the Overlords, and they couldn't even get a single thing because we would just have them pressed up the whole entire game. So with that being said, that will be the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this type of material and these types of data analytics. Otherwise, for everybody who's been watching this whole entire time and been following me, keep on analyzing, keep on evolving, keep on winning, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Till then, bye.